Alright, so here's the thing about overcoming racism. The truth of the matter is, it's either one or two things. Either it's a very small area where you live, or it's a mental mind state. And I know that you're not going to believe this, you're not going to want to hear it or accept it, but here's the truth. There's either, if you don't get out of the area in which you live, whether or not that be saving up every bit of dime you have and moving into like Mississippi, some poor location, and then finding money there, then working your way out, or you change the way you behave and you act, you will never make it out. Because it has nothing to do with your skin color. It has to do with your attitude and the culture and the way you act. Everything's about body language, you know that. And when you act a certain way, someone expects a certain thing. And then when you see them act a certain way towards you, you expect a certain thing. The biggest problem right now when it comes to cops and blacks in America is the fact that these are two men who can't express fear for one another, right? You don't show no man fear, but you know that you don't want them pulling you over, and they know that they don't want to pull you over, but that's their job. If they don't do it, they get fired, they don't get paid. So what happens is when someone shows up and you see a police officer, the first thing you have to do is understand, like, look, this is just his job. And usually I get my car ready, and as soon as he gets to the door, I hand him my stuff. Here you go, sir. I try and act like I'm talking to a best friend, right? Like, hey man, I'm sorry, like, yeah, I was speeding, like, my bad. But if you act aggressive, if you're upset about why you got pulled over, if you start asking questions, you're just being just like he's expecting you to be. You're fitting a group, you're fitting a stereotype. And until you get yourself out of that culture, it's like asking, little Mexicans how to get out of Mexico. Like, they're gonna act the same way, right? Like, just like they're Chinese people in China and they're just doing their life. If you continue to act a certain way and wonder why you're being treated a certain way, it's never gonna fix the problem. It's very simple, but it's very difficult, right? You just gotta accept right now, look, the problem is me. The problem is me believing that it's my skin color and not my tone, not my body language, and not my behavior. So you gotta change your behavior. You gotta change the way you speak. And it's not about being white or being like anything else. It's about being who you are, an individual. You don't have to talk like everyone else that's around you. You don't gotta behave like everyone else that's around you. But if you do, it's gonna make it very easy to categorize you. It's gonna be very easy to feel a certain way around you, and your problem is just gonna never go away. You don't have to do anything that you see in your group. You don't have to, be a drug dealer. You don't have to be in sports. You don't have to be a rapper. I failed the first grade, and right now I'm one of the smartest motherfuckers on LinkedIn when it comes to engineering, because I had a situation in my childhood that taught me something a little differently, but through force and pain. You gotta understand is that to overcome difficult situations, change is necessary. And if you're not willing to change yourself, then you can't expect anyone or anything in your environment to ever change for the better. So either you figure out who you are and make sure you're your own individual person who behaves and acts individually, or just accept the fact that things are never gonna change and you should just accept where you're at right now. It's your choice.